It's 3 in the morning, and the shadow on the wall is yours. You're counting the minutes since the last wake-up, and the exhaustion feels like a heavy weight on your chest. In this silence, it's easy to look at a baby who wakes every hour and see a problem to be solved. We often interpret these fragmented nights as a sign that we're getting it wrong, or that our child is somehow failing to learn the skill of sleep. An adult sleep cycle runs 90 minutes, dropping deep into slow-wave sleep before looping up. A newborn runs a different clock. Her cycle lasts only 50 minutes. She reaches the fragile seam between cycles twice as often, crossing that boundary 14 times before morning. When she surfaces at these frequent intervals, she is simply reaching the natural conclusion of a chapter. Her nights are built as a sequence of these short bursts, rather than one long, unbroken book. This raises a different possibility for the 3 in the morning wake-up. Perhaps this fragmentation represents a brain following a specific, high-speed construction schedule that we are only beginning to decode. A sleeping newborn is often loud and restless. She twitches, her eyelids flutter, and her breathing hitches in an uneven rhythm. To a parent, it can look like she is barely asleep at all, or perhaps fighting against the rest she needs. Researchers identify this state as active sleep. It is the newborn equivalent of the dreaming REM stage, and it is a period of intense internal activity. These charts show how much of the night is dedicated to this phase. Adults spend about 20% of their sleep in REM. A newborn spends 50 to 75% in active sleep, sometimes getting only 20 minutes of quiet sleep an hour. During these hours, the brain is wiring the building. It is laying down connections between neurons, strengthening pathways, and sorting the massive flood of new information from the day into memory. Even the involuntary twitches have a structural purpose. Each movement of a finger or foot sends a signal to the brain, helping the infant build her first internal map of her own body. During the day, she has almost no deliberate control over her limbs. Sleep provides the only time her nervous system can safely practice movement and label which signal belongs to which muscle. This restless sleep is a brain operating at its highest capacity. The construction crew is working the night shift, using these active hours to build the foundation of her physical and cognitive world. Understanding the construction site explains the noise, but it also explains why she wakes so easily. When we look at the architecture of a night in a sleep lab, the picture becomes concrete. This recording shows arousals, tiny, involuntary surfacings toward wakefulness. A newborn's nervous system lifts her roughly every 2 minutes. Adults experience these too, but easily fall back asleep. Infants lack the circuitry to self-settle. The tiny spike becomes a full wake-up and cry. Science calls this reach for help co-regulation. It is the process of an unfinished nervous system seeking out a mature one to find its balance. When you lift her, she borrows your steady heartbeat and your rhythmic breathing. Her heart rate slows and her stress hormones drop to match yours. You are lending her a calm she cannot yet produce on her own. The 3 in the morning cry is a biological system seeking its only available tool for stability. She is surfacing because she is small, and she is settling because you are there. The reason these wakes are scattered across the full 24 hours is that a newborn's internal clock hasn't started ticking yet. The circadian rhythm that tells us when to wind down is currently offline. In the womb, there was no sunrise or sunset, only a constant rhythmic environment. She arrives into a world of light and dark, with no biological way to distinguish between a midday nap and a midnight rest. This changes on a predictable schedule. Between 9 and 15 weeks, the body begins producing surges of melatonin. Morning light and evening dimness finally begin to tether her sleep to the world's clock. However, just as this rhythm stabilizes, many parents hit the 4-month mark and watch the progress fall apart. This period is often dreaded as a regression. This chart reveals the structural renovation happening at 4 months. Her basic sleep architecture is splitting into the complex, multi-layered stages of an adult brain. The old cycles disappear to make room for a more sophisticated system. This period is actually a biological graduation. The nights become difficult because the brain is busy installing a more advanced operating system, wearing away the old grooves before the new ones are fully formed. These three elements, the short cycles, the active twitching, and the reliance on your calm, are the defining features of early human development. Fragmented sleep is the mechanism the brain uses to build itself. In sleep labs, infants who nap after learning new tasks retain that information far better than those who stay awake. Their restless sleep is effectively turning the day's lessons into permanent knowledge. This process cannot be rushed or bypassed. You cannot install the circadian clock early or force a new brain to skip essential active sleep phases. By showing up one more time and offering your calm nervous system, you are fulfilling the primary requirement of these long nights. This is the most important work a brain will ever do, and you are the one making it possible. The waking is the building.